Hi, Coach Carl Cooks back. Today we're making lasagna roll-ups. We're going to start with the filling right now. We've already made our sauce that's on the back stove with the little meatballs inside. And again, if you're a vegetarian, you don't have to cook meatballs, just make a vegetarian sauce. And we're going to make the filling right now. So the filling requires ricotta cheese, and if you never had ricotta cheese, it's not like cottage cheese, but some people say it's similar, a little smoother, not as chunky. And the filling will also have mozzarella cheese, a cup. We're going to grate that. Parsley, fresh parsley from Miss Vala's garden, an egg, again as a binder, and some fresh grated Parmesan cheese. And I like to put some spinach in there. The spinach, don't say who. Spinach is good for you, and you won't even taste it, but it does add a little different kind of texture to the filling, and it really is delicious. If you like spinach dip, kind of the same idea. It's frozen chopped spinach, actually just in a box. We just warm it up and squeeze all the water out of it. So we're going to go ahead and put that in our bowl first, because we're going to mix everything together so we have a nice filling for our roll-ups. So we got chopped spinach, just one box. I believe it's an 8-ounce box. We're going to take the ricotta cheese, and we're going to, it's got a little seal on it, take the seal off, and a spatula, and we're just going to pour that whole thing in here. And again, if you really don't want the ricotta cheese, you can just use mozzarella cheese and make the filling without the ricotta. So we got our mozzarella cheese. We're going to crack our egg in here. Okay. And then I'm going to move this to the side for a second, because we're going to chop up our fresh parsley. And again, same as I always say, you don't want a big chunk of parsley in your mouth. You just want little pieces spread throughout, so that it gives that really good flavor. Can you use the dried parsley? Sure, you can. But is it going to be as good? Absolutely not. There's two kinds of parslays. There's flat leaf, and then there's curly. I happen to be using the flat leaf. They're both good. Either one's fine, and they grow really easy in your garden. I've got a ton of parsley out there, but it's not beautiful like Miss Vala's. I don't know what she does. I'm going to have to go get some tips from her. So we're going to chop up this parsley. And again, using a knife, kids, you might want some assistance from your parents on this, or just have your parents do the chopping. Okay, when we get it all chopped nice and fine, we're just going to scoop it up, and we're going to pop it in the bowl. Okay, and then we're going to put our bowl back here, and we're going to grate some cheese. It's about, I would say, 8 ounces, 1 cup. Parmesan, mozzarella cheese. I'm going to do it on the board. It's kind of hard to grate in the air. Brand doesn't really matter. We just do what's on sale. Sometimes I like to buy things in quantity, a big brick of it, because it's a little cheaper, and then I can use it for multiple meals. Yeah, grate the cheese. If you want it to be less cheesy, you can, and more textury, not as gooey, you can use less mozzarella, but we like the goo. So yeah, here's our cheese. We'll put that in the bowl, just like that. And all the last bits. There we go. And then half a cup of grated Parmesan cheese. I like to use the fresh one. You can use the kind in the can, that's fine. The fresh one I use is Parmigiano Reggiano. And I just get the Kirkland blend from Costco and grate it myself. Okay, all our ingredients are in. And now we just have to stir it up. You can also add a little salt to this if you want, but again, the cheese has a lot of salt. The ricotta cheese, however, does not. So if you want, you can add a little bit of a little bit of salt to that. And salt it up a little bit. You can always taste it and see if you think it needs salt. And then you're going to you want to make sure you get that parsley and that spinach all well distributed. Because again, you don't want a mouthful of parsley or a mouthful of spinach. You want it all distributed evenly throughout the filling. And I already boiled our lasagna noodles. I boiled 10 of them, which is going to make 10 servings because one noodle is a serving. You'll roll it up. You'll see in the next segment how we roll them up. So I've already pre-boiled the lasagna noodles, and I'll have this ready to go. And then we'll start rolling lasagna. A lot easier to serve too. So I'll see you in a bit. Okay, welcome back. We're ready to roll. So we have our filling that I've mixed up, our ricotta, spinach, and mozzarella cheese, Parmesan cheese filling. And that's ready to go. We have our cooked lasagna noodles, and we have our sauce. And I'm gonna grate a little bit of what is called fontina cheese. And then you see this big red thing that just is wrapped around this piece of wax. We're not gonna use that. I'm gonna grate some of this cheese up to add to the lasagna roll-ups because it's a real creamy cheese and it melts really good, and it'll make them really stringy and delicious. So I'm gonna grate some of this for inside the roll-ups and also for on top of the roll-ups after we're done rolling them. So this one grates really fast because it's a little softer, the cheese. Again, a lot of flavor and a lot of creaminess in this cheese, again called fontina. Tends to be a little pricey, but you really won't need much of it. So that all grated up, and we're going to put this in a bowl because we're going to pull from it. So put all nice in a bowl. And I'm going to put that to the side. And now we're ready to assemble these lasagna roll-ups. What's nice about the roll-ups is that when it comes out of the oven, you don't have to worry about letting it cool and then cutting it, and then when you scoop it out, it falls apart. They're kind of little compact rolls ready to go. So I've got 3 lasagna noodles on here, and I'm going to start with the filling. So I'm going to put a scoop, and I'm just going to kind of spread it down the noodle. Spread it down, and it just depends how fat you want them. If you want them a little chunkier, you'll put a little bit more, but I find that it's hard to roll them if they're too filled. So we're going to go down each roll, and again I'm making 10, but I'm only going to make 3 at a time on the sheet pan. I use it on the sheet pan because it's just easier to roll up that way. The sheet pan works as a surface it's non-stick sheet pan, so it can roll up pretty quickly and easily. So we're going to ricotta cheese on the noodle all the way up like that. Okay. And then we're going to take some of our sauce, and remember there's meatballs in this sauce. If you want meat, if you want vegetarian sauce, you can, just do a veggie sauce. And we're just going to put a little bit of sauce in there, not too much because then they'll slide apart. Just a little bit of sauce there, like that. Okay, no meatballs, they'll be scattered around on the top. And then I'm going to take my fontina cheese and I'm going to spread that over the top of the sauce. And it's already starting to melt. It's so soft and gooey. It's yummy cheese. And if you're getting it a little bit off of the noodle, don't worry about it. You'll just scoop that overflow up and put it into the next round of noodles. We don't waste anything around here. So all the way down like that. Again, working 3 at a time. At this point, if you want, you could take a little bit of your Parmesan cheese and spread a little bit that on too. You don't have to though. There's already Parm in it. And we're ready to roll. So I'm going to take the roll, and keeping it straight, we're just going to roll it up like this. And if it starts coming out the side, you just tap it back in and roll it up. And there you go. And you can see some filling came out. And there's your little roll. And you do the same for these two. Just continue to roll them up. And again, you can use your hands on the side to keep the filling in. If you use too much sauce, they're going to fall apart. So just a little bit of sauce inside. And then roll this one up. Just like that. Now I've got 3 rolls. I have a little glass dish here, and I'm going to take my sauce, and now I can use the meatballs if I want, but I think I'll save them for the top. I'm going to try to just get sauce, and I'm going to, oh, you know what, before I do that, smart, thinking clean up here. I'm going to spray my dish with some non-stick spray. So that way I have an easy cleanup. Okay, so I have some avocado oil here, like avocado oil, but you can use any kind of non-stick spray. Now I'm going to put the sauce down. And so there's some sauce under the roll up. And I'm gonna do, oh, meatball came. Oh well, it'll be fine. And there we go. And then I'm going to carefully pick up my roll, and I'm going to place it right on top of the sauce. And another one. And another one. Okay, now I have a little bit of stuff left here. I'm going to just move it to the side. I'm going to take some more noodles and roll up until I have 10 roll-ups. Ready to go. I forgot to mention too, if you don't have time or energy to make your own sauce, a jar sauce is just fine here. You know, just go and buy yourself a jar sauce. I particularly like the sugar-free ones because if it gets too sweet, you're defeating the purpose of it being, you know, a healthy home-cooked meal. So I do like the carbone sauce. That's a good one. Kind of expensive, but yummy. And then, of course, I'm a Costco girl. You know that. The Rouse sauce. Both of these don't have sugar, and they're really, really good. So that's what I would recommend, but any jar sauce would do. You can use Ragu, Prego, whatever brand your family likes, but watch that sugar content. Okay, so I'm gonna finish rolling these up, and then I'm pop them in the oven, and I'll be back to show you what they look like when they come out of the oven. Okay, now we've got them all rolled up, all 10 of them. They couldn't fit in one pan. We did 6 in one pan and 4 in the other. We're gonna go ahead and now we're gonna get those meatballs and sauce, and we're just gonna go right over the top and let those meatballs fall to the side and cover these with sauce like that. And then the other pan. Let those meatballs fall over the top. We're going to top this with the rest of our fontina cheese and maybe a little more Parmesan too. So a little bit more of that fontina, that nice soft melty cheese. And you can top them with mozzarella too if you want. A little bit of fontina. Ooh, just enough, just enough. I'm going to squeeze it by. There we go. And then I'll take a little bit more of my Parmesan, my grated Parmesan Reggiano, put it over the top. And I got my oven preheating 375, and I'm going to pop these in the oven for about 25 to 35 minutes. Everybody's oven's different. So when you open it up and you see it's bubbling, and it gets kind of brown on the top, a little bit golden and bubbly, you'll know it's ready, and you'll smell it too. And then we'll bring them back out, and I'll show you what they look like when they're done. So here we go. Let's pop them in the oven. Lasagna roll ups are done. Oops, so excited. So they just came out of the oven. They're still bubbling, and there's 6 of them in this pan. So I might want to wait until they stop bubbling a little bit, but they're all compact. That should be fine. Slowing down a little bit. We have little meatballs sprinkled over the top. And so here we go. Let's serve it on the plate. So it's so nice. Don't even have to cut. Look at that. It comes out all in one nice piece. And there you go. You've got a serving of lasagna without having to cut it. All ready to go. Got my fork. Ooh, I bet it's going to be delicious. Kind of hot yet. I don't know if I want to take a bite yet. And I have to wait a while. I don't burn my tongue. So I hope you try these. And let me know what you think. Okay? Take care. Bye. Happy lasagna eating.